What's going on, everybody? We have a good one for you today. I sat down with my old friend Billy Bacci, who I've known for almost 20 years. He plays in the band Paint on It, and he also plays guitar for Mackenzie Roark. He also has a new solo record out called Love is Fair, Beware, so go check that out. We reminisced a bit about high school, most of which I barely remember. We shared some stories about playing music back then, talked about the Ricky Gervais show. We dove into some of Billy's worst gigs, the most recent times he performed, and he rated his last show. He also gave us a sneak peek into what's going on with the next Paint on It record and what to expect from that, and what he's doing with his solo work going forward. There's definitely some Easter eggs and some teasers of some other stuff going on, some projects we have going on together. So if you're a Billy Bacci fan, this is definitely the podcast for you. Enjoy and stay frosty. A Coca-Cola in the morning?
No, it's cold brew.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it looks like it. Imagine the food. Yeah, just drink a to the top Coca-Cola every morning.
That's hilarious.
Man, high school. I was all about that.
Yeah. Me too.
I liked Mountain Dew, Dr. Pepper. Do you remember at NDA? I don't know why I was thinking about this the other day, but you could kind of go back behind and talk to after school was out, talk to the kitchen staff, and they'd sell you a soda for 50 cents.
I remember being back there a couple times, so that must have been what I was doing, was wheeling and dealing with Cokes.
Are you rolling now, by the way?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Well, since we're doing gigs across the tundra, and we're going to talk about gigs and stuff, and you brought up high school. Remember when we did Summer Babe in high school?
Yeah.
That was fun. But when I go back and look, I'm like, man, I didn't play any of that song right. I mean, I played the right chorus. I just didn't play any of it the way that Malcolmus plays it.
So what was the band arrangement?
I think it was, somebody was playing bass. I don't remember who.
Yeah. Probably Nadine.
Yeah. That makes sense.
She was game thinking. For whatever alt rock tune. She was always game.
What was that? Were we all in a music class together?
Remember, it was the ensemble class.
What is that?
With Miss Farfalia. But I don't think we were ever in the same section for that music class.
Okay, so then how did we end up doing Summer Babe together?
I don't know. Because I remember playing More Than a Feeling.
Oh, I guess it was because it was for like the school performance. So maybe that's how we were able to be in the same thing together.
Who do we have on drums? George?
Who's George?
George. You remember George?
I've erased all these people from my memory.
I know. Yeah, I know. Yeah, George. That guy George was pretty cool. I feel like I remember him because he had some Loudoun County connections. And he was really funny. He used to just annoy Farfalia like all day long. He would be constantly, his favorite songs were Incense and Peppermints and Green Tambourine.
Yeah.
And he would always be like, "Hey, Miss Farfalia, can we build a slide off the roof of the building?" And it just used to drive her crazy. He would just ask that every single day. And he'd be like, "Yeah, we're going to build a slide. We're going to climb." Deep memories here. Anyway, But he was a drummer, and he was always pretty game to play whatever, too. Could have been him. But anyway. So Summer Babe.
Yeah. What did you do?
Probably guitar.
Yeah. Well, no, I know you played guitar, but did you know the riff and stuff like going in? Information wasn't as clearly available. Like you couldn't find like videos of somebody playing it to see, how they actually play it like Malk or something like that.
For sure. And I always learned a lot of Pavement tunes just in standard, so I could kind of fake it in standard.
Yeah.
But I recently looked up In the Mouth of a Desert on YouTube, and someone demonstrated how to actually play that the real way, and whatever the tuning is that he uses. And I was like, not at all what I've been doing all these years.
No,
it was cool,
yeah.
but there's just like those little dissonances that you can only get if you tune it a certain way.
Yeah.
And that's probably the case with Summer Babe too. So I was just playing, open D, suspended second, A, G, the whole song.
Yeah.
You know?
So we were
and I could
probably
probably
chords.
Yeah,
basically.
pretty much. I could kind of get the lead a little bit too, but I love the
Yeah.
lead in that song because it does just seem like it was like a random take. Like it wasn't like plotted
No, but it feels
on
so
the.
good.
It's so iconic.
Yeah.
So I probably got that pretty close
Yeah.
because you can play that in standard, you know. But it's really just those big chords that you can't do. But that is so true. Yeah, the Pavement tabs were always wrong. The Sonic Youth tabs were even more wrong.
Yeah, it was so much hard. I mean, you had to actually like really, well, with the tuning. I mean, you had to like dig for information at that time. It's crazy how much faster information moves now.
Yeah, and you just get one guy on YouTube like who's like, "This is how Malcolmus plays in the Mouth of a Desert," and it's like 100% correct. I'm like, dang. Even if I was to watch him, I wouldn't be able to probably figure out how it's tuned.
Yeah.
You
And
almost have to
then
know him.
and then there's other parts of that too where it's like, I was like, I had the idea of like, oh, I'm gonna do like a really cool My Bloody Valentine version of Frontwards. And then I go and I look it up. I'm like, I wonder if someone else has done this. And I see somebody else did it exactly the way I imagined it. And I was like, all right, well, I'll move
Yeah.
on to something else then.
Darn. Yeah. Oh well, but it was kind of cool, you know. Like I'm not just like, it's amazing that we could learn so much today. Don't
Yeah.
get me wrong.
No, it's awesome.
It's
makes a lot of things way easier for me.
it's better. It seemed almost pastoral, you know.
Yeah.
I was always thinking about music then too. It was pretty, like, school was, I don't know. I just didn't pay attention.
No.
I was just always doodling in my notebook, like,
yeah.
oh, I'm gonna go home and record this thing. And like when you don't have any life responsibility, you know, you can just go home and record, and
Yeah.
it's awesome. A lot of time when me and Nikki go on road trips, we'll just put on Ricky Gervais' pod and listen. You know,
Yeah.
that's like a frequent road trip one.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
just
that was so early. It was before actual podcasts, pretty much.
yeah, no doubt. That was a trailblazer for sure.
Yeah.
And it was a trailblazer too because it was like just the format now of kind of like reaction is so common. But really they're just reacting to what Karl says.
Yeah.
You just ask Karl, and Karl's the funny one, you know?
Yeah.
They're funny too, but like Karl is like the engine of that show.
Yeah, he's just naturally a character.
He's naturally a character. And the more I listen to it and the more I listen to like An Idiot Abroad, and Karl's in on it. Like the fact that he's animated is so stoic, you know, with his dumb frown. Like you can tell he's cracking up in there with them too. Like he knows how to get a rise out of them, and he totally like leans in. So I don't think he's given enough credit for his comedic acumen as well. You know, he's not just totally blind. He's a legend, is what he is.
No, he's awesome.
Anyway, yeah, that's what I think of too when I think of Notre Dame, because Chris was the first person to ever tell me about Ricky Gervais pod, because we were on the cross country.
I remember.
Yeah, him you remember. Yeah, but I remember he was on cross country team with me, and I was always real slow. But anyway, like we would run, and he'd be describing this podcast to me, and he'd talk about Karl Pilkington with the head like the orange, and I was like, this sounds pretty great. But I didn't have it at the time, you know, and it took years to kind of realize. But like, it's pretty interesting that like the word was out on this early podcast. That was probably 2005, you know, and people had to put podcasts on their iPod. I never did, but.
What's your worst gig?
Well, there was one recently with the Mackenzie band where we were live streamed, and it was several cameras. It was a pretty big production. But I decided to play my Jaguar, which had a bunch of wiring problems. And like we get up there, first song, it's just making all this noise and all this chaos. And I was like, okay, whatever. I'm just going to play one of the studio guitars because we were shooting in a studio.
Yeah.
And they gave me this Jimmy Page Telecaster signature. And I was like, this thing's pretty cool. And the very first song, I get to like my solo and I just break the high E string mid solo. And this is right on camera. It's pretty wonky. It's pretty bad. And then so they gave me another guitar, and then they switched. There was all this guitar stuff, and like my 12 string, I was supposed to be playing for a bunch of songs, and it wasn't patched in right. And instead of having two acoustics, they doubled Mackenzie's guitar, and it was super loud. And Yeah, it was just all around a disaster. But the thing is, it actually sounded all right.
Yeah.
It was just real uncomfortable for me. And watching the video, I was able to play it off. Like, it actually looked like I was having fun still through
Yeah.
the technicals. But man, it was like every song there was something that would just break on me. I clammed some notes pretty hard, but like watching it, it looks like I'm having fun. So it works. Like in my head and in my heart, I was like, wow, I'm blowing this. And it was all right.
Nice.
So that one sticks out as a pretty recent one. Let's see. I used to play this bar called all the time. I shouldn't name names.
I'll
This
bleep
place
stuff
is
out. I got you.
No, it's all good. I don't care at all. They're like 5 blocks away from my house. It's a sports bar, you know, and there's just like 40 TVs. And no one's ever listening. They're all there to just watch sports, and that's cool. I don't know why I ever played there more than once, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, there was this one guy who, I guess it was an empty bar, and I guess I took his seat, and he was about to kill me. No reason.
He was just one of those dudes looking for a fight.
So that sticks out. He was just ready to fight, and the bartender's like, "What are you doing? Get out of here!" And so the bartender, I was like, "Thank you for saving." That dude was about to just pummel me for no reason at all. So those kind of stick out. Tell me about one of yours.
So one I was thinking of that kind of got brought up from my other project, Death Lake. First time we ever, I think one of the first and only times we ever performed. It was at like an open mic, and it was like not a place where they were ready to hear like surfy indie rock with like horror lyrics. Yeah, it was just really that energy of like being booed off the stage without actually being booed.
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty much like that. It was just like feeling all the stares.
Just like all glares. You can just feel it up there.
It was really uncomfortable. And I think I had also did like a acoustic cover by myself of Hit Me Baby One More Time, so that didn't help.
Oh my. Gotta respect it.
Yeah.
Those gigs are humbling.
Yeah.
I had a really fun, we did karaoke for Mackenzie's birthday on Monday, and she hosts karaoke at this place, and I was encouraging my friend. I was like, you should just go up there and just bomb something. He was like not wanting to sing, and I was just like, no, just pick something you don't even know and just bomb it, because it's really good for you as a performer.
That's true.
To bomb.
Yeah.
You gotta bomb. I've bombed big time. I used to feel like I was always bombing when I would play solo.
Yeah.
Because you don't have the band at your back being like, no, it's okay. You got this. When you're just solo and like no one's paying attention, you're like, I don't know. You put too much stock into like how much you've sweated over the songs. And then I was also thinking about how like sometimes bombing is within. Like they may not boo you or heckle you, but you feel like you bombed.
Yeah, that one I have a lot.
Yeah.
I probably have that almost every show.
Really?
But that's not, I know that's, that's not really how it is,
No.
That's just kind of your own criticism, self-criticism.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's one I'm working on.
And it takes a long time.
Yeah. I guess another worst gig, to kind of give another high school one, was I think I remember doing like Back in Black or something like that.
Whoa.
With some people. I think it was or TNT, maybe. It was one of those. I think it was TNT. And I don't remember the names of any of the people, which is probably fine for a podcast. But I remember playing the solo, and I was like standing on the amp and jumping off the amp. And I was definitely not even playing. Yeah, I was playing close enough in the key because it's all just pretty basic blues stuff. But I definitely wasn't in the right key. I was very close. I don't think I hit a truly sour note. I just wasn't hitting notes that like made sense for phrasing.
Sure.
In that key. They wouldn't have been Angus's choices. Put it like that.
Sweet. So you jumped off the amp, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, I stepped up on the amp and jumped off.
What was the amp? Do you remember?
It was a Line 6. Dude, it was a big Line 6. It wasn't a small one.
Man.
But
I had the big one as well.
Yeah. Not to hate on Line 6, because Cliff uses a Helix, and I love the Helix is dope. He has a stomp.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I got the stomp. Big fan of the stomp. Big stomp fan. Shout out to Line 6. Send me stuff.
Yeah, for real.
My friend has been playing his Jazz Master through this little Squire. It's not a tube amp. It's just like a little Squire practice amp. It's so light, and yeah, he says it sounds killer. The band says it sounds killer.
That's so
I mean,
weird.
whatever,
Whatever.
I know.
If it works,
Well, you
I've
just
never heard of
dime
that
it and
for
it's whatever,
live. Yeah,
As far as I'm concerned, if you write interesting parts, it doesn't really matter
that's true.
too much. Yeah,
That's true.
but
If
I mean,
that's the sound. That's the sound.
I've been definitely attached. I've been doing a Marshall JCM 900 recently.
Yeah.
For everything, and I really like that amp.
Yeah.
Because you can make it a little dirty and and there's plenty of room to keep it clean if you want, and that's really all I care about. It's like, can I get edge of breakup without it being ridiculously loud? And can I keep it clean while being loud enough?
Yeah.
Without breaking up too soon. And that's beyond that, like shootouts, they're all cool. They're all valuable, sure. But like, if your amp is too dark, you got tone knobs.
Yeah. I'm usually using just the AC-15 or the Vox, that is Vox, or the PV. We have a PV Classic, like a 1980
Cool.
PV Classic. That's like 65 watts or something like that. It's a big one.
Are those I heard the PVs have gotten more expensive because one of the guys from Queens of the Stone Age
I don't know.
has always used
about
a little
the new
PV.
ones. The one I have is from like 1980.
Yeah, I think he uses an old one that was like
Probably.
a
They sound better.
forgotten cheap beater kind of amp, and then
Yeah.
suddenly like everyone wants them now.
I love it. It's kind of like the antithesis to the Roland
Jazz
jazz chorus,
Cube.
whatever it's called.
Chorus, yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
that's what Cliff has one of those. So we have like one of each. So we have like the light side and the dark side. But the
Cool.
yeah, the PV has a phaser in it instead of chorus.
I like phaser.
Yeah, I'm more of a phaser fan.
Me too, probably.
When was your last gig?
We did Mackenzie Band played John Prine tribute show 3 weeks ago, a month ago.
How'd that go?
It was awesome, amazing.
Sick.
That was one of the best gigs I've ever done. We only played 5 songs, but it was like we were all so informed. We were so good for that show.
What was it for? That was only like 5 songs.
Well, it was a tribute show to John Prine, and it was all these different solo acts and then a couple of bands, and we kind of like closed out the night.
Gotcha. Hell yeah.
Yeah, it was really good. The last couple of gigs with that band have been really good.
The band's really good. I've seen some videos.
Oh yeah, thanks.
Sounds
man.
really good. You all sound really tight.
Yeah, it's really fun.
You bring like a different, like Wiley element to it.
Yeah, yeah. Make it a little. She's definitely interested in making it more rock and roll.
Yeah,
and I'm not just gonna fall into the old blues trappings, because I'm an indie rock person. I like noise rock. I like all that stuff. So
yeah.
And I can kind of roll it. I can keep it tame too. But like when she let loose, we always get paired up with like really honky tonk acts, and then we get up there and just smoke them. It's awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I'm not,
Man.
I'm a little competitive in that way, but so let's see. That was my last gig. Yeah, it was Saturday the 7th. That was the night before that. I saw Guided by Voices, which was incredible. Incredible.
Yeah.
I can't stop gushing about that show.
Yeah.
Everyone that gets in my way, even people who aren't interested in the band, I'm like, hey, did I tell you about the Guided by Voices show that I saw?
They've been doing it so long.
Yeah, exactly. And it shows.
Yeah.
Incredible.
They're awesome.
Incredible. And then the next gig that I got, not too much in November. We're kind of chilling in November. We're going to play in Harrisonburg the 22nd. Pain on It is doing an acoustic trio gig the Saturday after Thanksgiving.
Nice.
So that'll be nice. We got to fill 3 hours. So we're going to be playing them all.
Nice.
Everything. So that'll be me, Matt, and Mara. And it's going to be playing the Pain on It record, the new Pain on It record. It'll be a nice evening of song and story, just kind of playing acoustics and talking. And I'll probably do some solo. We'll play some of my back catalog, some of my solo record. And then I'm going to open solo for the next Mackenzie gig, which is the following Saturday.
Nice.
So that'll be cool. Yeah, I got a couple of like little solo offerings coming up here.
That's good.
I made this decision. I'm going to spend the rest of this year. I'm not going to start any new recordings, but I've been going back through the old stuff and attempting to remix some of it. And it's going
Is that why you took a lot of it off Bandcamp?
I made it private. It's still up there. I'm happy to share with you what you want.
That would be great.
Yeah,
Especially
I got
the old high school stuff. Yeah.
I know.
I think I have to be the ultimate Billy Bacci fan.
Yeah.
I'm naming songs that people don't know.
Yeah, that's cool. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like you're coming, you've been at it for a while, but this is, I think, a good time to be a Billy Bacci solo fan, because there's been rumblings, there's been a little bit more interest in
The record you put out on all platforms is great.
Love is Fair, Beware.
Yeah, go check that out.
Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah.
Dude, I loved it.
It's definitely more cohesive and tame than what I've done in the past. So it's kind of, now that dropped and people really dig it, I kind of decided I'm just going to start just putting whatever I want on Spotify.
Yeah.
Noisy stuff, experimental stuff. You lure them in with the good songwriting, and then it's like, all right, now we're going to hit you with that noise. I did a remix of Endlessly Circling yesterday. You remember that one?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll send that to you. Turned out really good. I'm not going to be tampering with it too much. I'm not going to ruin what, is good about it. But I'm just trying to make it so some of the layers that get lost, because I didn't know how to mix back then. There's no mixing at all. It's just what I recorded is what it is. And so once you start to actually attempt to remix it, it's like a Jenga tower and it falls apart. So I kind of just have to rebuild everything from scratch to make it sound like it did, but just a little bit more separation. And, I didn't know how EQ worked, just cutting frequencies, really compressing things a little bit more.
So is it wait, so did you re-record stuff?
No, I'm not going to re-record anything.
Okay, gotcha.
I'm only going to go through, I have this folder here. It says Logic Sessions 2013 through 2017. And so those are the only ones I'm going to do. I'm just going to see what I can salvage, and I'm going to see what was already good and see if I can just get the mixes a little bit better and drop some more stuff.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, that high school stuff, I wish I could remix some of that, but it's gone. You think your old laptops will live forever, No, you don't know anything about hard drives and stuff in high school.
I'm the same. I don't have any of the old stuff I used to have. So kind of a bummer.
Really?
Yeah. Lots and lots, like so many songs. But I mean, at the same time, I don't know. It's also, there's a small amount that's a little bit liberating. Because it's like, I'm all just new stuff now. So it's nice to not have too much going back. I mean, some of the Igloo songs we're doing and some of the ones that are coming out I have had for a while. But
cool.
But there's also plenty of new stuff too.
Nice.
One thing we usually do is we rate our last gig. Like on a scale of 1 to 10, how did you feel it was?
10.
Nice.
That John Prine gig was one of the best I've ever played.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, we were all just really connected and good. It was like we did 3 covers and 2 originals. I don't know. I'm not like always trying to seek out doing covers or anything, but like there was just something about it. We just sounded so good. I'll take you back. Let's see. Let's go back to the gig before that one. What was that? We played before the John Prine. The gig before that was one of the worst. I forgot about that. I already blocked it out of my memory. Dang, that's good. So we played at the Poe Museum, which is an awesome museum dedicated to Edgar Allan Poe. It's in downtown Richmond.
That's sick.
And they have an event called Unhappy Hour, which is they have this cool courtyard, and there's, straw bales for you to sit on. And it was just a really nice cocktail mixer. There were probably 150, 200 people to show up there. And seemed like the makings for an absolutely perfect night, you know. But somehow, I don't want to put too much on the sound mixer. You know, he did his absolute best, but he kind of didn't really know what he was getting into. He's done a lot of mixing at a venue that has legitimate equipment and is always set up. But this gig doesn't have anything. He was like, yeah, we're going to show up there. They have this mixer. And the mixer was like a $90 Amazon mixer. And I was like, the week before, I was like, my friend, you got to rent a bunch of stuff.
Like how many inputs was it?
6.
6 for
6.
So it was that sucks.
But it's not even just the inputs, it was the outputs. It was like 2 outputs. We didn't use it. Well, but the thing is, it was kind of like, I got this, no worries, up until like 3 days before.
Yeah.
And I started to have conversations with the mixer, and I was like, it would be one thing if we're showing up and it's just a lo-fi gig. That's cool.
Yeah.
But that's just not how we promoted it, and that's not what the venue expects. The venue expects us to do our full thing.
Gotcha.
That's why they're paying so well, and et cetera. And I was like, you need to figure out how to rent all this equipment, and this is what we need, and this is what we got in the band. And, you know, he did it. It just, but the actual showing up there and helping set up, it was just a disaster piece for sure. There was just so many elements that just weren't really working, and I lost my voice because I had to scream because my stage mix was, it was one thing after another. I think it sounded all right out there, but that was a valuable learning experience for this young mixer, you know?
Yeah.
Be like, yep, you need to put a lot more thought into your planning for this.
I mean, we've all
and he knows this, and he's a friend, and I've given him my honest assessment. And even on the day, I was kind of bad cop, you know, good cop, bad cop. But I was like, no, it kind of just, because, you know, setting up a stage like that with several on stage monitors and the PA, and it's kind of, you know, miking all the it's a lot. It was a thing. I forgot about that gig, man. That was so stressful.
So who paid for the rental?
The gig was the venue.
Okay.
The venue had no problem providing him whatever he needed.
Gotcha.
But it was like, the gig was on a Thursday, and the mixer hit me up on Monday. It was like, hey, you think this will do? I was just like, no. No way.
Oh, man.
But, you know, I'm not on here to badmouth anybody, you know. It was just a strange situation where, like, he was kind of expecting the venue to have more stuff, and the venue was expecting him to bring stuff of his own, and just not being, like, when you're new, and I find this in my work a lot of the time, you just have to really ask a lot of questions early. Yeah. Early enough. Like, I'm talking like 2 weeks before if you can.
Yeah.
Because, you know, or even just a week before, just so you can get everything you need and test it and make sure everything works. And
totally.
It was just a hodgepodge of us bringing our stuff and our stands and our everything getting mixed together. And
yeah, I mean, if it's an event, you know, you plan for an event. You know, if it's just your normal bar, you know, that you run sound at every night, yeah, you know your system and your setup, and you get there, you know, 15
Easy.
minutes early, smoke a cigarette for 5 minutes, and then knock it out in 10.
But then 2 days later, Paint On It played a wedding, and it was amazing. It was a great gig. It was the same sort of thing, though. We had to bring our own sound, but the sound mixer was like really prepared and has done this a lot of times. And we got there. I got there plenty early to help him set up, and yeah, it was fantastic. It went really well.
Yeah.
We did 2 sets, a bunch of covers. We got a really good video of Paint On It playing Friday I'm in Love. I'll post that on our YouTube pretty
definitely
soon.
Post that. Yeah, you know, Cure is one of my favorite bands.
Yeah, Cure's great.
One of my all-time favorites. So what's up with the next Paint On It record? You guys are recording it?
Yeah, it's we're mixing it.
Oh, it's in mixing.
Yeah, you want me to send you where we're at?
You totally can. Yeah.
We're 6 out of 10. We got 6 songs mixed out of 10.
Oh, okay.
I'm just kind of stalling on the last couple because, well, one of them's short. So it's really more like 3 and an interlude, you know?
Yeah.
It's going great. It sounds really good. It was a really fun approach to making a record that I'd never done before. We did the drums, we did everything at Go West, which Mitch is who we did the first album with. But this time around, We kind of only kept the drums, the bass, and some of my keyboard, and we replaced all the guitars and the synths and the vocals here at Red Amp in my space in time, and then Jody at Red Amp's been mixing it kind of one by one.
Yeah,
it's been really fun. We've really just had a lot of time to work on it. Sometimes it's really nice to, like, you know, take a rhythm guitar track and just sit with it for a couple of hours and just play. Just pull out, you know, Matt on guitar and we'll just try stuff and keep trying stuff and keep trying stuff, and he'll just write a really quirky, interesting part that was never come about any other way, you know?
Yeah.
And it feels like we've been working on it forever, but it has not been that long. We did the preliminary tracking at end of December, so it hasn't been. It's going to be done November, and then we'll probably release it early 2024.
Hell yeah!
But I'll send it to you if you want to leak it to your fans.
I won't leak it, but
you can leak it.
I'll definitely say that. Maybe I'll do like a little Insta video or something where it's like on in the background or something. But
yeah, that's what's up.
I like the drums and stuff I'm hearing. Oh man,
cool. Thump, thum, thum. You checking out Tails?
Yeah. I love it. It has very
cool.
It feels like very classic Bacci feel.
Sweet.
I really like the drums. Are the drums kind of like that a lot, where it's like kind of spacious?
Yeah. That one's different for sure, but we kind of come back to that.
It's mixed very in like my mixing kind of style for sure.
Cool.
The first one sounds like, because it's just I'm very like wide drums and like
nice
all around the head.
I really like width for sure. I definitely encourage that. But the first song in particular is a little bit more spacey than
Gotcha.
There's spacey ones on there for sure too. But you'll see. There's some classic Paint on It humor, but it's definitely more experimental than the first one.
Yeah, I can tell.
Lemon and Daisy is one of.
That's the one I just hit.
Back at it.
No, Lemon and Daisy.
Oh, Lemon and Daisy. Yeah, that's one of Matt's.
Yeah,
that's Matt's tune. Matt wrote that one, and we kind of wrote it together, but it's really his tune, and so we sing together on it with Mara, and yeah, that one turned out really beautiful.
Hell yeah! No, yeah, that sounded. Yeah, the guitars I just heard at the beginning of that sounded really cool. See, there you go.
They're really wide. Yeah, sweet.
Plenty of teasers.
Yeah, you got the first 6. But then the next couple, we kind of did it's a little bit more maximalist in the production phase, where we're just throwing stuff at it. And then right before getting to mixing, usually like one day before, I go, and then I just cut stuff out.
Yeah.
Carving room. And so I kind of made the record, and you'll notice that while the record is kind of maximalist, in some spots, there's usually never more than like 5 people playing. So like, even if there's like multiple guitar tracks or 12 string or keys or whatever, it's never like 3 guitarists, 2 keyboardists, 1 synth. You know, it's always 5. Like I kind of wanted to make it still feel like it was like a band of 5.
That's what we're doing for the next chunk of Igloo stuff too, or for the next EP and album. It's pretty much what, you know, more or less what we could perform live.
Exactly.
A little bit more than that, but yeah.
It'll be good to have it done. But yeah, the next couple are a little bit more of a mess.
Yeah.
But I think mixing, he'll be able to clean them up for sure. But I don't want to. The reason the mixing's been going so well this time around is I kind of have been able to. I do all that carving before I even give it to him, so I don't.
Yeah.
I don't give him like 5 guitars to choose from. I've already chosen the one that I think is best.
Yeah, you've already done most of the editing.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Done all the editing, done all the choices, and you know, there's some things that like I learned too. Like I'm gonna use, like I think this mic works really well for my voice, but I want to try some different mics on the others next time.
Yeah.
Just because of like. And you know, having a conversation with the mixer, being like, well, how much treatment did you have to do on this person's voice? And they might be like, yeah, you should choose a slightly darker mic for this person, or you should choose something with a high bump for this person. And, you know, that's learning your band, but it's also just like getting better as a technician. It's been really fun.
Yeah.
I want to track with, you got the SM7B there.
I've been using the 7B for the last like EP and single since Cupid Song. It's been all 7B.
Yeah. I
Um,
have one, and
yeah,
I've used it for nothing.
yeah. I think we're gonna switch it up again for the album, but
Yeah.
yeah, and through the next EP, it's all 7B on the vocals. Or I
Cool.
mean, some of the other vocals end up being like we also like sometimes I'm at Cliff Studio where there's just like a Sterling 151, but like that thing sounds good for like a lower end mic. Like
Yeah.
I'm actually impressed by how solid it sounds. That's usually like just like some extra background vocals or something.
Is that the Guitar Center house brand? Is that what Sterling is?
Yeah,
Cool. Yeah. I've
yeah.
had good results.
There's
I've
some
used their
decent
stuff.
Yeah,
It
if
makes
it
sense.
sounds good, it sounds good. But I mean, at the same time, also
Straight up.
Alexis has Neumanns and Telefunkens and good stuff. So
Yeah.
not that the other stuff is
Yeah.
bad stuff, but she's got that high end too. So
There's kind of nothing comparable to singing into U47.
yeah,
I hate to say
man,
it.
I'd love that.
As much as a
We don't
lo-fi
have
nerd
that,
is,
but she has two TL103s and then a set of like really nice Telefunkens, and then the earthwork for the drums.
yeah,
Those
seem
sweet.
interesting.
They're pretty cool. Yeah.
Are those dynamics?
No, they're condensers.
Got you.
Tiny little condensers.
Cool.
Yeah, they're really sweet.
Thinking about one of my goals for the next year is to build an in-ear rig
Yeah,
for multiple bands that I can use.
us too.
But but the idea being I wouldn't mind getting a couple of drum mics. So that way when we go from stage to stage, we can just switch out the mics,
Yeah.
so then our balance is the same and we can record every night and whatever. This is just a pipe dream, but I'm just thinking about drum mics a little bit more than usual. Yeah, but
any
those
plans?
are good.
Sorry, what were you gonna say?
Go on. Probably nothing. Any plans?
I would say any plans for another solo album?
Yeah. Always.
Yeah.
All the time. Well, right now, so you've heard all the stuff on my Bandcamp, but what I'm doing right now is going back through, like I mentioned, I've got my 2013 through 2017 Logic sessions, and there's like a zillion of them, and some of them are all right, and a lot of them are kind of forgotten. But there's a lot of the stuff from the adaptation record that I think could use a rework. Like I'm not gonna re-record anything, but I'm gonna go through some of these old ones and just see if I can separate the layers out a little bit more, because the final mix is all right, but it could be better. So I think I want to re-release that record. Adaptation. Yeah, I don't really know, but I know that I'm kind of decided that for the rest of this year, I'm not going to start anything new. I'm just going to go through what I've got here every day and then just take some of these fragments and okay, so maybe I will record more, but I'm not going to start anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I've got this one right here. It's called Octopus. And it's really cool. It's like some like
that one.
No, it was never finished.
Oh,
but it's
man.
really cool. And I'm going to finish it. So I'm just going through and I'm just finishing all these fragments. And if it like catches my ear as being really interesting and worth pursuing, then I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
But that's kind of my goal. And I don't know whether that means I'm going to have a new solo record or whether it means I'm going to push out some older stuff that other people haven't heard, but kind of both, I think.
Yeah.
I just got to put some of that solo stuff on Spotify. You know I do.
Yeah. Well, if you're ever down to collab or looking for another guitarist to pop on
That'd be
Billy
cool.
thing, since you've
That'd be
popped on
cool.
one of our songs, which I guess is
Yeah.
a good one to kind of start to end on, is
Sure.
we'll have a song coming out, I think within the next couple of weeks, that Billy sang on called Always Impatient.
It was fun.
Yeah. It sounds really good. I'll send you the mix.
Cool.
I'm almost done with it. But yeah, it sounds really cool. Big Weezery kind of solos in the middle.
Yeah.
But yeah, your voice fit in with all of us. It's really cool how there's basically three
Nice.
different lead singers, but we all blend really well together.
That was a fun time. Technicals aside.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. It was kind of a technical difficulty.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. So yeah, that way we can do more stuff when we do stuff like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, dang. So, like, for example, I just found that American Spirit session.
Ooh.
That's what I'm saying. Be really fun to remix that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, maybe as these pop up, I'll start sending them to you, and yeah, however you want to. Even if you just want to help me with some quality control, and like I said, I'm not trying to do too much like new stuff. I'm trying to like fix
I'll keep it
broken. Yeah, and like I think it would be cool to collab on some recordings and stuff too. That can be maybe there's 2 projects happening at once
for sure.
But like even here, like with these old ones, if I'm like rebuilding an old song, I'm trying to like keep within the loops I already made and stuff.
Yeah,
and like not add new virtual instruments and stuff. Like use what's there.
Yeah. What we should actually collab on is finishing that other thing.
The other thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Because I mean, if you're down, I'd like to give that a good mix in and actually properly release that.
That'd be great. And I did write some vocal parts for the song
Yeah.
And I'll have to send those to you.
Yeah. Well, cool, dude. Cool.
Yeah, good.
That was a great episode. Heck
yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah. Catch up soon.
Later, buddy.
Later, man. Have a good one.
Yeah, we didn't get too much into the Billie Holiday kind of talk. We've talked about that so many times in the past. I know you guys haven't really heard it too much from the two of us, so the next time we get together, we'll definitely talk more Billie Holiday and maybe rehash that story one more time for all of you. And sorry for the weird audio. We're still working on getting video. Still got some technical difficulties we're working out, but we're getting there. We appreciate you guys sticking with us. Like we said, we do have a single coming out on November 11th called Always Impatient, which does feature Billy Bacci on lead vocals and piano. So go check that out. And make sure to like, subscribe, comment, share it with a friend, and hit those notifications. And check out some of these other videos, like that one up there, and that one over there, and that one right down there. Stay frosty.